Lockhart, Senior Jackson Singer, Senior Joey Susi, Junior Cashel Stuger, Junior Yanni Skidordas, Senior Henry Marini, and in goal, Senior Cody Abreu. Coaching for the Attleboro Bombardiers is Peter Pereira. And now our starting lineups for the Mansfield Hornets. Senior Ethan Scholes, sophomore Aiden Steele, senior Michael Jeans, senior captain Tommy Lanzillo, senior captain Evan Eames, junior Dan Rowe, senior Colin True, junior Mike Caridi, junior Sagar Cole, junior Matt Hyland, and in goal, junior Jack Lasbury Casey. Coach of the Mansfield Hornets is Steve Sheridan.
So welcome. It is the second half of the Attleboro Mansfield week of soccer. It's Wednesday, October 21st, and we just got to hear the starting lineups for both teams. So looking forward to a good evening of soccer here under the lights at Alumni Field, Alumni Stadium. Perfect conditions, light breeze, temperature's fantastic, no rain, and under the lights, which is always a great way to play for high school soccer. So glad to be with you here, Dave Elsner again, and we are halfway through the season. We're starting the 6th game of a 10-game season. Mansfield's sitting very nicely in the league now, 4-1. Coming off a solid, very strong win on Monday night, 4-0 against Attleboro. Had defenders score, had midfielders score, had forwards score. Great balance and a great result for the boys. So let's see if they can continue that momentum tonight. I'm sure Attleboro is going to be coming in here raring to go. That was on their home turf that they lost 4-0. That never feels good. So they're going to come out with some energy, I'm sure, and some things to prove. So just underway. Great pressure from Aiden. Absolutely closes on the ball much more quickly than most players, most defenders anticipate. Great first step and a terrific top-end speed. And not sure referees stopped that there for a second. Mansfield's going to restart again. Tommy's going to serve this ball across the middle. Coach not happy with that, whatever's going on. Referee's trying to get the ball where he wants it. All right, and here it comes. Driven low, and that's a head ball. Pretty hard to resist. So one ref pointing in one direction and one ref pointing in another direction. So let's see which direction we end up with. Now they're both kind of pointing in the same direction. Okay, so it's going to be a goal kick. I thought they called the head ball on that. Tough to see. Colin controlling in the middle, pressuring through. And again, I said this in the JV game. I'm not sure whether this is going to be before or after. We got a chance to film some of the JV game, which is an unusual opportunity, earlier. And if you haven't been watching the game so far this year, refs not playing advantage. And I think that's, again, part of the special refereeing conditions for this year. They're not letting a foul's a foul. They're not trying to let the play continue. There's a driven ball, but well wide. Not trying to let the play continue after a foul because mostly I think having to do with just the health considerations on the field. They don't want players upper body contact and then playing advantage beyond that, because then pretty soon we might get more and more of that. So that's my read on that. So don't be surprised if advantage is not played. And that ball's off the Attleboro midfielder there, looks like. So Mansfield restart. Ethan tracking that one down. Looks like it's going to be the Ethan-Evan combination. And sure enough, Evan drives that ball up over the defender's head. Looks like offsides. So the other thing for those of you around the world who are watching tonight, we are live streaming, which is an exciting development in terms of technology and things that we're using here. It's been happening for a little while now. Hopefully we're getting better at it. We've also, for those of you who have been watching, there's a good giveaway. Aiden can't quite bring that under control. Colin, getting ambitious. That's called senior ambition right there. Knocking that one from 30, 35, something like that. Anyway, we are live streaming, which is new, and allowing people in lots of different ways to enjoy the game, which is fantastic. We are experimenting, like I said, with interviews after the game. We have yet to get that quite right with the microphone. Partly we think it might be some cable problems, so we're going to try something new tonight. So stick around for that post-game interview with one of the players that has distinguished himself. And then, we have senior night coming up next week, and we're hoping to do a little bit more with the seniors for their special evening. My understanding is that's next week. Okay, so back to the play here. We got some, both teams just kind of bouncing around a little bit. Mansfield threatening once or twice with some balls served into the box. No real opportunities yet. And these teams and these players know each other well. Lots of them have played for years against each other in club as well as high school ball, so shouldn't be too many surprises. Ethan cleaning that one up, controlled nicely from number 16, brought down midfield. Our defense has been absolutely solid this year. And there's Michael just standing the ball up. Well done, force it back, same thing, keep your shape. And that ball now across, shoulder ball from Scholes to clear away. And there's a good defensive play. Good tracking from Tommy right there. Picked his spot. Good weighted ball ahead for Aiden with some pace, but that's interesting. Mansfield, Attleboro player number 18. Staying with him there. That was an interesting turn, though. That ball that Attleboro defender just put across the middle. Mansfield players need to be aware of that. You don't typically want to do that as a defender, but if you're on the other team and you see that, you want to make sure you're aware and ready for something like that if it happens again out of the corner. So here we go. Ethan's going to serve this. We've got some runners now coming into the box. That ball up in and nicely played there. Dangerous ball. Attleboro defender just kind of calmly knocked that ball out with his shoulder, but the corner kick now for Mansfield. Let's see who's going to pick this one up. We've got Michael Jeans in the corner, and probably Tommy's going to knock this one across. Good opportunity here. Mansfield players all outside of the box making their runs in. And Tommy's going to absolutely drive this one to the far side. And Danny Rowe able to control it. Let's see if he can win this back in the corner. Not quite, but wins the restart for Mansfield. So well done. Good hustle from Danny. So Monday's game, a lot of players. Coach went deep into the bench after the lead got built up, and that was nice to see. I'm sure a lot of players appreciated that. And we'll see what the offense can put together here in the opening quarter of this game. Mansfield relying on that long ball. I won't say it too many times, but it would be nice if we had a couple passes in the middle of the field. Certainly okay to counter and stretch the field, but if you do it all the time, it gets to be very predictable for the defense. There's ball back to Evan. Let's see if he picks his head up. He does. Sprays it out wide nicely. Danny wide open with some space. And that ball is knocked away. Looks like Ethan's going to let that run. He does for a restart. So I'm not sure if you could hear the starting lineups either, because that was announced by Athletic Director Redding, and I just had my microphone here on the windowsill. So our starters, and I don't think we've had any substitutions. We've got Jack Lasbury Casey in goal, and we got defenders are Ethan, Michael, Evan, and Mike Caridi. Midfield, Matt Highland, Tommy, Colin, and Danny Rowe on the right side. And the strikers up top, Aiden and Sagar, who is right now going for the golden boot on the team. Here's a ball up top there. I think Colin had eyes on that before he actually got a hold of it because he knew he was in range there. But the defender did a good job of getting in the way of that. Danny Rowe puts it ahead, collected there by number 16. He's got some good range to him. Up and down, back and forth across the field. And Evan's going to clean that one up. Knock it ahead to Tommy. Looking for a runner, not quite there. And Attleboro switching the field well, making our defenders play laterally. So looks like we got number 10 coming in, Grady. He's getting ready to come in anyway. We'll see when Coach gives him the nod. Some good shifts from these sophomore midfielders coming in. I'm sure Coach is excited to see that for this year, but future years. That's a well-struck ball, and Attleboro defenders do a good job of just shielding that one. But Sagar had his eyes on that one coming in. He is a master at picking up the mistakes from defenders. And against Taunton shows that he knows how to pick out the corner of the net too, so he's dangerous. And that looks like Danny Rowe trying to line one up. And it looks like Grady coming in for Colin into center mid. So we're just about midway through the first period. Both teams just kind of feeling things out here, I would say. Mansfield a little bit more on Attleboro's half than I'd say vice versa. But Mansfield now adjusting. Here comes a counter of sorts, but really it's 3-on-5. Mansfield has numbers back. Attleboro player decides to keep that in, and that'll be a restart for Attleboro. So combination play out of the back through the midfield. That's what'll do it. Let's see if our defenders can be thinking that way, and midfielders be moving to some space and get some team shape moving forward. This could be a shot. Nope, cleared. Skulls with a nice. That's a nice play right there. Great body position, intercepted, and a volley out. That's combinations of things that's a good defensive play all around. And he knocks that one ahead. It's going to stay in. It absolutely is. Tommy's on it, knocks it ahead, but right back at us. Evan's got time and space. He's going to let that run back to Jack. And up steps number 20. Nate. As I was saying, sophomore midfielders putting in some good shifts, earning the time. Tommy getting a lot of touches on the ball tonight so far. Let's see if Michael can control that. He does. Tries to knock it forward. Pressure from the Attleboro striker. There's one of those very difficult shoulder passes. Aiden's on this one, and just in the nick of time. Number 17's able to turn on that and get a foot on it. Aiden coming out. So Nate going up for striker with Sagar. And let's see if we can try something else here in terms of this restart. Maybe a runner checking 2. And he's going to knock that one up in the air. Kicked around. Not sure the call on that, but coming out from Attleboro. All right. Michael controlling. tries to feed Matt up on the left side. Good idea. Tough ball to work. Not a lot of space there. And Grady working the ball. Attleboro is going to come through, and both teams just kind of run it right through midfield right now, looking for that opportunity on a counter or a long ball. So I have been remiss, those of you who have already been appreciating the good camera work tonight. Got Mr. Rob Highland on the live stream video. Haven't been able to say that before. So Evan's going to size this one up and does a nice job bringing it down. Drives that one forward. Nothing you can do with that with a year with no head balls. Keeper clears it out. So let's see, we're checking the standings here as we work our way down into inside 6 minutes here of the first period. This ball is going to bounce around a little bit off of a shoulder, off of a back. Tommy tries to do a, can't even call that a half volley. That was pretty elevated. That's what I thought. Mansfield sitting at 4-1 with 8 points and 8 goals for, 1 against. Milford, though, top of the league in the Kelly Rex, 5-0, 17 goals for and 1 against. So Mansfield played them pretty even, 2-1 in the preseason. So we'll be playing them again at some point. Not sure which week that is. Got to be coming up pretty soon. There's an opportunity and a turn, and oh, the goalie does a good job. Goalie does a good job of stepping out in that. But that almost was a turn and a point-blank shot. Okay, so we have got some technical delivery, which is fantastic. No. Okay. We are very fortunate to have our Mansfield cable access in town, and Jack helping out in all kinds of ways, Maureen as well. If you don't know those names, they're the people behind the scenes, and it's wonderful, actually. Great benefit for the community. Terrific to have this kind of coverage with the kind of quality and equipment and support that they provide. So that's great for all the players, all the families, all the programs. In comes number, let's see, 31. That looks like Liam is giving Sagar a break. Liam, a junior, coming in up top. Let's see if we can get a misplay here. And boy, they are calling it tight this year, and even tighter tonight, it seems like. Not a whole lot going on there. Not sure what happened. Maybe some contact with the keeper, but certainly not much. All right, so ball ahead. Tommy's going to jump on this, knock it wide. Danny's going to track this one down. Simple little first touch. Looks like it must have just gone wide there a bit. So, what do we think so far? Thinking a little bit more passes on the ground would be helpful, and perhaps move into space. There's a simple little ball back. Michael sees him. Evan moving into position. That ball's gonna drift wide. and service to our strikers, who and we've got a capable bunch. They just need service that they can handle. It's tough to bring a ball down and do much with it in these conditions. It just is. That's just the way the rules are this year. So some through balls that would be on the ground, diagonal, at an angle. You can look for that. And there's Tommy. Simple little pass, right? Danny moving forward as the team takes some shape, collects themselves offensively. Driven ahead, knocked off the Attleboro player. Attleboro sitting on it in midfield, but now knocks that long. Evan covering, knocks it out. So, time on the field now for the last couple here for the first quarter. Like I said, I think Attleboro came with a bit of a chip on their shoulders, a little bit of energy tonight. They certainly don't want to lose 2 in a row, and having lost 4-0 at home, they want to prove something this evening. So Mansfield needs to counter, needs to get some grit, get some technique going, and show them that 4-0 was not a fluke. There's some good communication there. Matty listening to the keep. Matt Highland paying attention. And Jack came out well on that. That's a tough distribution, but Matt comes up with it through 2 players. Oh, and seeing Liam trying to make that run behind the defender, couldn't quite thread it through. Michael steps up. And it's going to be called a foul on Attleboro. And I, not that I'm not impartial, but I got to say there's not much there. They're really that upper body contact at all, and they're being incredibly strict, which is what the rules are. It's just such a different thing to see when you're watching it on the field this year. So closing seconds here of the first quarter. That ball is going to make its way over the defender, but offside's called by the VAR official. And that is going to do it for the first period. So we are going to watch how much time we have in terms of storage on this. There we are. These are short breaks between the quarters for those of you who haven't been able to watch the games. Just a couple minutes. Halftime will be longer. We are 0-0 here, and I'm just double checking the time we have total. Yeah, so we might want to pause. Why don't we do that and save some clock time just right here. Yep. Go ahead and restart. And we got the red button, so we're recording, and we are good to go. All right, I'm the only one mic'd up, but what do you think, Coach? Look good so far. Look good so far.
More opportunities than Attleboro.
Yeah, I'd say so. I agree that a little bit more of pressure on the goal, service into the box, a little bit more of the run of the play, and certainly more of the ball on Attleboro's half than on our half. So that's good. Keep up that momentum. Should lead to some more opportunities. We haven't really tested their keeper though yet. I wouldn't say. Maybe once or twice, you might say. Keeper had to come out and step through a couple things. Some just kind of, when it was in the mixa, as they say, occasionally. So, Mansfield building some pressure. Let's see if we can capitalize here in the second quarter. And we are just seconds away from getting started. And there's the whistle. And Matt Highland up top now, it looks like. Coach making some adjustments. Colin back in. There's a ball cleared away by the Attleboro keep. And let's see. Nate? Nope, Grady, pardon me. Grady in the middle. Colin. Colin maybe up top. Hard to say. It's a tough ball and just over the bar. Coach saying well struck to Ethan, I'm sure. That was close. Certainly had the keeper worried, backing up. Let's see if Mansfield can get a hold of this. Puts a couple small passes together on the ground, preferably, and free up a shot. I will say the last game, Attleboro was leaving Danny yards, acres of space, as the saying goes. Sometimes wide open on that flank on the right side. We just got to find him, and he can tee one up. This ball in the box, and skips across and through and off the keeper. Barely kept that one out. So Mansfield knocking on the door here. Let's see if we can make this corner set piece turn this into something. Mansfield players backing up out of the box, now making their runs in. Driven ball, and that's going to be over the end line for an Attleboro goal kick. So far, opening couple minutes, we've had it all our way in Attleboro's half, and it's going to stay that way. Another restart. It's one of the things about these restarts when they're 20, 30 yards out. It's like a long throw-in used to be, but in some ways more like a corner kick. Ethan, driven ball, well done. Keeps got to really pay attention to that. Had some English on it. And looks like we're going to have a ball across. Referee's deciding goal kick. So Connor's over there. That's who I'm looking at. Looks like he's playing left midfield. So coach mixing things up a little bit, bringing in some fresh legs. Some nice control, knocked out wide. So we can pick the head up. Connor, is that Connor? Yes, working it. Ethan, I'm sure he's thinking maybe shoot. And that ball is going to be knocked ahead, but if you could see on the camera, we had 2 or 3 of our midfielders back, 4 defenders. It was a 2-on-6 there for Attleboro. So that's where some patience, both teams, where some patience. You got to take field as a team, not necessarily just run the ball ahead. You can't catch up to it. So restart for Attleboro. So it looks to me, I'm looking for one player that is particularly can be particularly dangerous. Let me just see. Yeah, Joey, number 12, not in at the moment. A lot of our Mansfield players know him from playing with him and playing against him. No, I do see number 12. Pardon me. I may have that mixed up a bit. So not sure what's happening. Switching out balls. Looks like it must have hit someone, so we're going to get the spray and the wipe. Hands, yes, can't have hands. Certainly don't want things spreading around on the field. So there's some evidence of they're just being safe. And referees hopefully keeping track of this in terms of time. And we're getting ready to get a whistle and some kind of restart. Looks like Attleboro coach may be talking with the near side ref here about something. Coach wandering over, checking it out. Players waiting for something. Coach has stopped the clock. And the referee looks down. And this is called COVID timing right here is what this is, which is fine. We're going to maybe add some time back on the clock. I'm not quite sure. And here we go. Whistle and restart. And we're at just about 14 minutes. Still 0-0. Tommy, nice control. Colin turns on that one, knocks that one ahead. It's going to run out. So I'm going to put the word out, the invitation. We need some fresh faces, some fresh voices, some fresh camera people up here. The more the merrier. Takes a little bit of practice, but it's low pressure. There's Evan, and that's some good pressure by number 7. It's going to be a Mansfield restart, though. Because this is my last year, after having done this for, I'm not sure how many total, 4 or 5 at least, off and on between 2 sons in the program, and but I'll be done. And so we need to get a new crew. And here's an opportunity foot race now from Aiden. He is off to it. Got a stride at least, knocks that forward and just wide. That is, except for that last little bit there, and even that was well taken. Great pace, terrific control as he's striding and accelerating, and then a decisive shot just wide. Not sure the goalie would have had a chance of that if that was on frame. Attleboro working the ball across the midfield. Let's see if they can try and open up some spaces. We got a runner. Ethan controls well. Nice outside of the foot pass. And looks like we're saying, all right, Aiden, we know you can outrun him. Let's make it happen. But I am a fan of that first pass from the defenders to the midfielders rather than knocking it over the midfielder's head. Okay, here we go. Danny's going to serve this one in. Ethan had a couple good strikes in a row. I'm surprised they're mixing it up, but Danny has good service. That ball curving in and going to run wide. Michael controls, pops it back up, and keeper's just going to be smart about that one, let it go over. Goal kick. So we're still 0-0. I'm not sure when the first goals were on Monday. I know I believe they were spaced out pretty well throughout the game. It was 3-0 fairly late in the third quarter, if I remember correctly. And this ball is dangerous, and we got players going down, and of course Attleboro's going to want to foul, but I don't think there was anything there. Jack's going to knock this one ahead. Just inside midfield. That's another rule. You can't punt it over midfield. And that's going to be a contact foul is what that is, upper body. Not allowed off the ball or on the ball, really. Off the ball for sure. On the ball can be questionable depending on the referee's interpretation. And like I said, goalies cannot punt over midfield. So this is a tough one when they loft it in like that. Ethan shielding, getting his body in the way. That's a good play right there. Bring it in high like that so that you can't head it and it's over people's head, then bounces instead of forward, bounces more up in the air. That makes it hard for defenders. Attleboro controlling some simple skill here. They're going to knock it across. Tommy, good read, good pressure. And let's see if we can get some supporting balls maybe sometimes when one of our players is under having a hard time control it. Maybe just a trailing ball. Ball popped ahead. Aiden chasing hard. Just cleared away in the nick of time. That's going to be a head-to-head. And they're going to call not sure what they're doing here. Oh, nothing's happening. Restart for Mansfield. And there's a off the shoulder. I don't think Attleboro's going to, yeah, nope, not quite. Number 5, I believe that is. 5 or 7. Got some pace there, but couldn't quite get there in time. And let's see, we got Danny Rowe coming out for, I think that's going to be Nate coming in. Yep, it is. That ball across the box, and and thankfully just skidding in and stopping before the post is Nate, actually, right in there. He was just to have his first touch on that shift be a goal, but good service, high across the box and dropping down near to the far post. Tommy knocks that one ahead. Ethan gets a shoulder on it to slow it down. Puts that ball up in the air. On it again. And here's where a simple little ball back would be helpful. Michael Jean's move into position. Connor working it hard, and I'm not sure what that was. Handball, maybe. Not sure. Hard to tell. Some different whistles this year. So, Coach, with a good mix of age groups this year, subbing in seniors, juniors, sophomores, that ball struck with some power, but no worries for Jack, well over the bar. and moving probably, I would say, I don't know, working with 16, 17 players maybe, most games. He's got a deep bench, lots of players dressed. But I would say 16, 17 players getting the majority of the time. That ball cleared away by Attleboro. Mansfield will restart. Let's see if Ethan or Evan takes this one. Looks like Ethan is setting it up for Evan. He's going to knock that ball again across the mouth, and keeper decides to punch it away. Michael's going to collect it. Let's see if he picks his head up. He does. Gets deflected. And another restart. So Mansfield looking for some goals here before we close out the half. We are inside 6 minutes. Maybe some extra time on the field for some of the stoppage in play. Like Caridi, good read, good intercept. Colin pressuring, and Mansfield will get it. So another chance to send this in. Let's see if we try something maybe a little different. Maybe Tommy checking two, knock it all the way across to Connor. In front of the net, trying to get a mistake from the keep, but he's got some good hands, it looks like. Not a lot of rebounds, not a lot of things kicking away from him. And he's going to punt this. And it is going to, land just shy of midfield. Simple ball back from Michael to Michael. Danny looking for Tommy in the middle. That ball now ahead to number 13. Evan's going to try and run him out of space, and he does. It's all it takes sometimes. You don't need to even make contact. You don't need to necessarily even get on the ball. Just force the player a little bit off stride or a little bit in a different direction. And if the ball's got pace on it, it's going to run out before somebody can catch up to it. So, good play from Evan. So I'm thinking I want to test the microphone for a goal tonight. That would be fun. Or actually, we could have our cameraman announce the goal. That would be even more fun. But can't happen because we don't have any goals yet. So let's see. Inside 4 minutes on the clock. Probably less time. Or probably more time on the referee's watch. It should be potentially a couple minutes worth. Let's see. We'll see how they time that out. Attleboro again, they've done that several times, right? They're working the ball across midfield. Tommy with good read, still on it. He's going to knock this ahead. Well paced. 17's got some speed, and they were stride for stride. Aiden comes away with it. It's a good feed there from Tommy up ahead to Aiden. Michael sticks that one well and intercepts. Attleboro comes back, and Evan, as usual, there to clean it up. Sweeping it out. As his position is called. Yeah, that's clearly a foul. Attleboro player frustrated that he wasn't able to get a shot off. Evan took it away, and that was clearly a trip. I would say the Hornets deserve to come into halftime with a 1-0 lead. Let's see if they can make that happen. They've certainly carried the play. Attleboro getting a little bit of daylight now in the last couple minutes on our end, but I would say on the whole for the game, Mansfield certainly dominating with the ball in Attleboro's half most of the time. So let's see if we can regroup here, get the momentum back for the last 3 minutes, and tickle the threads. Driven ahead. There's Aiden closing that space, and Attleboro will restart. That's where that ball jammed up there 30 yards out. All you got to do is knock that back to a center mid or maybe a defender who's moving up into space. That just would open things up a little bit. Good read from Danny. Intercepting that. Attleboro going to work the ball across the field again like they have been doing. And head up to number 14, but Ethan's in the way, bouncing around a bit. And there's a good read, right? Wait for that first touch. Michael played that well. There's a simple ball. Nice run forward. I think that's sophomore to sophomore. And cleared well out. Mansfield has a chance to restart substitution. Aiden out and Matt Hyland in. Not sure what we're doing here. Referee's getting it placed. And Ethan's going to knock that one low and hard, which is what he's been doing the last couple of games. That is going to be a problem, potentially. A foul, at least. It looks like that's it. Referee was coming up on that one pretty quickly. I wasn't sure what he had in mind there. So we got to be down to the closing seconds here. The half 0-0. And Mansfield's dominated, I would say, but really haven't had a couple good shots. Aiden had an opportunity. Ethan had a good strike. But nothing with any real accuracy on frame yet. So let's see what we can do. Referee restart, and here we go on the whistle. That's now normally in most years a little head ball up over the goalie's head there would be the answer, but you can't do that this year, and so you got to sort of run by and hope the goalie mishandles, and then be there for to pick up the mistake. And that's the first half. Pardon me. So we are at 0-0. We're going to stay live streaming. But again, like we did before the first period, especially for halftime now with like 10 minutes, we are going to make sure, we're not going to film halftime, I don't think. Actually, it's only showing, oh, there it is, 10 minutes. Yeah, so 10 minutes. So we're gonna turn off those of you live streaming. We're going to take a break for a few too ourselves. Yes, and we are live for the start of second half. So 0-0, like I said. And let's see what Coach did with the lineup here. Any changes? He's got going to be the same probably in the back. That's been his practice for years and years and years. And that's going to be the same. We got Evan at sweeper and Michael at stopper. And on the flanks outside, wingbacks, Ethan and Michael. There's a ball. That's going to be tough. And keeper judges it in the lights there. For a second there, I thought he misjudged that and that was going to get over him. But he did well. Midfield in the middle, we got Danny and Tommy. We got Connor out on the right, Matt Hyland on the left. And up top to start out, we got Colin getting some striker time. And he's making a run on this right now. Let's see if he can connect. He does. And good opportunity. And Danny's going to clean up. And Ethan says, I will take care of that one. Goes for goal. And let's see. Up top, I started saying Colin and Aiden. So, again, a slightly different look coming in here for the start of the third period. Coach mixing things up. Trying to find a combination that's going to put one in here. So, just looking at the time on the discs that we use to record, the drives that we use to record. Doing a little tech check here. Hang on just a second. All right. Looks like it says we're recording. So hopefully for those of you who are watching live streaming, we are also recording at the same time for playback later on the Mansfield cable station. And occasionally there are some buttons and more things going on than you realize sometimes. That ball bouncing around, and Matt tries to get on top of that. Tough to get purchase on that one. Knocks it over. And Danny controls, simple little ball. Out wide to Connor. Looks like it's deflected off the Attleboro player. And Mansfield will restart. Scholes knocks that across, and in most years, that's a terrific ball, right? Perfect. 10, 12 yards out. Player comes on who's good with his head and just absolutely buries that in the net, but not this year, unfortunately. All right, I am not going to be looking at the field here for just a second. So I take care of a little bit of business with a request from a fan. So pardon me on that one. That ball in the mixer, there it is, and somebody's got to jump on that quickly. Hopefully not Attleboro. Somebody's going down, and Evan on the ground. Ball in the net. Referee with the whistle. Let's see what happens here. Referees now talking. Tommy also talking. And let's see what the referees come up with here. So I did not see that one exactly. Like I said, I was being distracted here, taking care of some other things. I think they're going to call a. I'm guessing this is going to be an indirect kick. Hand in the air. Referee's got his hand in the air. Indirect kick. And they cannot have a wall this year. But you've got all of the Mansfield players. This is going to be an interesting play right here. Mansfield has to be ready for any kind of rebound because it's going to come right back at the goalie. And let's see how we play this one. Mansfield players positioning themselves. Referee doing his best to give 10 yards, but there's not 10 yards between the ball and the net, the goal line, so that's not possible. This is an unusual situation. You don't see this very often. Indirect, about 7 yards out. I'm assuming indirect. And now the refs don't have their hands up, so what do you think? Think we got indirect or direct? Hard to know what's going on. This is one of those that could bounce any direction, anywhere. See, now they're making, and that's what they need to do, right? The ref is trying to get them back 10 yards. If you can get 10 yards, then the team has a right to ask 10 yards. That ball driven and blocked. Well done. Looks like Ethan got his body in the way there. I had to guess. It's well done. Just a little bit too long of a wind-up from that Attleboro player. When you're only 5-6 yards away, fraction of a second, you can close that distance. But Ethan did a great job of stepping right into that one. And that ball also, taking one for the team, was either Michael maybe on that one or Colin, one or the other. So Mansfield dodging one right there. That could have been easily could have been a goal, but came up big. That ball in the box again, kicking around, rolling around, barely getting through a couple Mansfield players. So Attleboro causing some problems now. Colin's got this one. Let's see if he's going to turn on it. He tries to just knock it ahead. Nobody there running onto it or couldn't connect. Okay, restart for Mansfield. So let's see if we can take a breath here with 13 minutes left in the third quarter. That was against the run of play last couple minutes there for sure. And again, very unusual circumstance there. indirect kick like that, basically right at the box, the goalie box, 6-yard box, pardon me. There's Tommy working hard like he has all game long. A lot of touches, a lot of territory covered for Tommy tonight. And let me check and see something here. Oh, yes, we are recording because the minutes have changed on one of the discs, so that is good to see. So we are just about going to have enough time on the camera, so to speak, to record the entire game. Let's see. We'll have to watch that real closely as we get down to the fourth period. Hopefully we'll have some time to do a post-game interview, but it's going to be close, I think, especially if we have some other stoppage on the field. Clock stopped now at 12:35. And keeper gathers that one. Of course, high school soccer, MIAA, the only league potentially in the planet that stops the clock for soccer, but nevertheless, that's what happens. And that ball is going to be just, I'll tell you what, the goalies have practiced that. They cannot clear midfield, and we've had 5 or 6 punts now from the goalies at both sides that have landed within a couple yards. That's better than some of the NFL punters do with their ball control. It's impressive. And they've learned that back in the days of, there's a different play. Evan fakes him out, goes around the player, and gets taken down. The referee talking to number 19 a bit. So Mansfield Hornets here carrying the play, like we've said. They need to get one in here. Otherwise, they're going to start to get potentially more and more anxious about it, and that's not going to help. So let's see if we can make something count here. That ball driven again right into the box, and got a foul on a Mansfield player. Pretty hard not to have upper body contact when you've got 6, 7, 8 players all standing within a few yards of each other as that ball is coming in. That's a driven mid-goal kick. Michael with the foot on it. Ethan tracking it down, which he does, stays with it, and he's going to come through that one hard. Skips off to Attleboro. Matt Highland there to clean it up. And normally, that would not be a foul. So those of you who are watching, that's shoulder and ball contact, but this year, not allowed. And there's a ball knocked ahead, testing the keeper. Oh, Matt just can't extend. Just beyond his reach there. Good run, though. Good run in on an angled ball, slightly angled ball there from Evan. Nice service. Yep, I just heard a who wants it from, that ball's going to be over the midfield, so that's going to be a Mansfield restart. Just heard somebody say, I think the Attleboro coach, who wants it, and that is what this may come down to. Which team is going to decide to get after it a little more than the other? Again, I think Mansfield, based on the flow of the play. Here it is, jumping around the box. Let's see if we can get a foot on it, possibly. Nope. Attleboro keeper's had a good game, jumping out on these balls. He's not been timid about it, and that's the sign of of good anticipation. Ball to Tommy. Ball on the ground. Excellent. Up to Danny. Trying to feed it through to either Aiden or Connor, making a run. Now some pace coming up. Ethan Shields away, and Evan sweeps it up. Aiden, good turn. Trying to feed Danny, making a run up the middle. And Ethan, simple ball to Tommy. He's going to pick his head up as he does. There's a great pass, right? Taking space as a team now. Michael's got some service options. He puts it ahead. He was trying to feed it through to potentially Matt, making a run, overlapping run there. But Attleboro player able to get a foot up on that. Some good balance. Knock it away. So we are inside kind of at 8 minutes-ish. There's another ball across. That ball deflected, and Attleboro keep adjusts well. Changes direction and gobbles that one up. So number 4 is in for Mansfield. That is Matthew. Getting a spell up top. That's going to be a handball. That's too much of a shoulder there, I would say. I agree. And let's see. Mansfield again 4-1 on the season. Attleboro top of the Kelly Rex at 5-0. And after that, King Philip at 2-3. Franklin 1-3-1. Taunton 0-2-1. Haven't played as many games. Attleboro 0-3. Over in Davenport, Canton at 3-0-2. OA at 4-0. And then drops down to Foxborough at 2-2-1. So Canton, OA, Mansfield, and Milford right now appear to be top of the tables. Mansfield certainly wants to keep it that way. So let's see. We got Nate coming in for Grady. I keep getting Nate and Grady confused with 10 and 20. So Grady coming in. Let's see if he can get a shift in here and make a difference. Put one in or get an assist. There's Danny. Some good pressure in midfield. Attleboro wins it back. There's Matt Hyland tracking back nicely, intercepts that ball. And he's going to put it up to Matthew. Let's see if he can get some legs on it. And that's a touch on the ball from number 17. 17. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, 17 is Joey. Right. I did say Joey a long time ago, and for some reason I was looking at the grade column, number 12. Joey playing in the back. It looks like occasionally he has played forward for sure. But maybe the Attleboro coach switching things up, trying to shut down our offense some. So somebody needs to break through here. Somebody needs to step up. Somebody needs to put a move on someone, get past, get a shot off. Someone needs to create some chaos in front of the box. Let's see. I almost want to give Sagar the name Chaos. Let's put him in. He is good at just creating all kinds of disruptions. But whatever it is, somebody in the Hornets needs to make it happen. We're down inside, just approaching 5 minutes now. That's a nice volley, left-footed volley on the run from Evan. That's a lot of balance, a lot of skill there. All right, Michael's going to restart this. We could just knock it ahead to maybe a midfielder checking back. We're going to keep firing it in the box. Where there's a will, there's a way, I suppose, is the strategy here. And there it is. Up top, it's a chest ball, bounces down, kicks around. Michael controls nicely, and he's going to drive that one forward. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a corner from deep in our corner. From deep in our corner. Haven't seen that yet, other than a corner kick. Colin had one, I suppose. Ethan making himself big there in the back. Steps up and threw that one. And, yes, call goes in Mansfield's favor, so a restart. So here we go. Coach and Evan had a conversation, and there it is. A nice little ball down the flank. Let's see if Aiden can turn it. He does. Knocks it across. Tommy's going to let it fly, and Grady can't quite corral that one. Michael Caridi staying tough there, trying to slow that down. And number 3 working down the side with Connor, but he's up to it and knocks it out, slows that down. And that ball ricochets off of, looks like maybe Tommy. Eaton pops that one up. Number 3 working it for Attleboro and going to get the foul called. So dangerous position here. Ref has his hand down. Shouldn't be a direct kick. But maybe it is. Yep. He can go right to goal and not close on that one. Danny Rowe coming in for Connor. Tommy finds some space out there with Danny. Brings it down, checks back to Tommy. Good run through that space. Tommy's going to switch the fields. Well done. Michael Jean stepping up. Now we've got some play as a team. Let's see if we can put the pressure on. We've got numbers now over midfield. Michael's going to overlap. Oh, good idea from Matt, but Attleboro steps into that one, gets in the way. That ball across the midfield. That's a great ball, and just over the leg there of Grady. That ball across the midfield, it just gives time for the team to get into position and for the defenders to move up into support, and it puts the entire team across midfield. It's a completely different offensive set, so or offensive shape, pardon me. Love to see that. Grady working on it, and he's still working on it. Attleboro's going to collect. Number 7 has some pace, little English. Left outside left foot, ball across the middle, and nobody, thankfully, running down that left flank rather for Attleboro, and looks like we got offsides. Time on the field here, inside 2 minutes. Third period, it's still 0-0. Mansfield carrying the play for the most part here, but has not been able to crack it in. Ball in the air, bouncing. And Aiden going to be called for that one and have a little conversation with the ref. Referees, for some reason, still doing the up-close conversation. I don't see any reason why they're doing that, but they are. You can certainly say the same thing just as effectively 6 feet apart, but everyone's got masks on, so that's fine. Evan knocks that one wide, long but wide. And we're probably going to get to the third period here with the score the same, 0-0. So quite a different match in terms of the score line from Monday's game. And there it is. That's the whistle for the end of the third period, 0-0, Mansfield Attleboro here on a Wednesday night, the second game of the week. So we're going to stay live here. Well, we are live. We know we're staying live, even if we stop recording. And we've got 25 minutes left on the. Yeah. So you know what? We're gonna pause. Here we go. All right. Well, 20 minutes on the clock. 24 minutes on the camera. So we'll have to keep track of that, and we are underway. And Coach has put one thing I'll notice right off the bat. Coach has put number. Oh, pardon me. No, I was going to say number 17 up top, but that's not the case. I looked to me like made a switch there, but he had not. That's talking for the Attleboro coach. Ball chested forward. Could possibly been a handball. Ref lets it go. On us, I meant. All right. Some looks like offsides. Good energy. That's the key, though. Whichever team comes out here in the first couple minutes with more energy has the best chance of potentially winning this game. Mansfield's been knocking at the door, so to speak, all game long and hasn't been able to put it in. So it doesn't matter what happened in the first three quarters. What matters is what's happened in the last 20 at this point. So everybody's got to dig deep, run hard. That ball did not go a full revolution, but that might not be something the ref is paying attention to, or potentially not even a requirement anymore. I think that might be the case, actually. Okay. Mansfield bench. Given some encouragement. And that ball out of bounds. Mansfield restart. So, question is, can we get some ball possession? Can we get some team, get the Mansfield players all across midfield and keep the ball under control in the Attleboro half? That will produce a goal. Otherwise, we got to hope for some kind of a mistake from a defender or a miscue from the keeper, which has not really happened so far this game. So let's see how Mansfield plays this last. We got 17 minutes. Ethan is going to. Nope, he's going to let Evan just knock this ahead. That ball low and driven out to Tommy. Settles. Puts a nice little move and drives one left-footed. That's well struck. Keeper had eyes on it the whole time, though. Good possession, good composure by Tommy there in the middle to get that strike off. And here is the 49.5-yard punt. Yes, it is, exactly. Actually, not quite because he was outside in the box already, but still. Judge that one right almost to midfield. That ball driven ahead. Attleboro plays a simple ball back. Knocked ahead to their midfielder, switch the fields. And good pressure there from that Sagar. Got to keep the defenders honest, and he does. Okay. Evan leaning into that one. Here comes a shot, and that ball is going to sail wide, high and wide. Key is some service to Aiden, in my opinion. I think he can take on, certainly on the right flank. If I were positioning him, it would be the right flank against their left defender. Just from a pure pace standpoint, Sagar's going to put this one up in the air. And here comes a Mansfield restart. Looks like Adam Elsner's going to get the shift here in the fourth quarter. Coach may want to give a little bit of a break to somebody, possibly a defender. Maybe a little coaching as we approach the last few minutes of this game. And I think Tommy might tee this one up here. Oh, clock still winding down. 14 inside 15 minutes now. Tommy is going to strike this, and he cannot get it on frame. Let's see what happens. So, Adam Elsner, given an opportunity to be the predator. Up with Aiden, going up top. Let's see if Elsner can connect on one here. He has been known to cause some problems on the few times that he's been forward. Coach going for another opportunity. Or another striker here. Let's see if this change can make the difference. All right, I would suggest a driven ball 4 feet off the ground so that our guys can jump on top of it and get a foot on it. That's my strategy. Let's see if they take it. No, going to go to the corner. I like that play. Trying to get to Ethan, who is going to probably do the same thing from the corner. He's had a couple really good strikes last few games from deep in the corner for some corner kicks. And here we go. Restart for Mansfield. And the referee says go ahead. That ball now going to cause problems. Mansfield players crashing the goal and into the goal. Both two players. That's Grady and Elsner coming through trying to distract the goalie. But again, he's had good hands. You got to give credit for that tonight. No balls loose really once they've come to him. Okay, Mansfield now pressuring consistently now on Attleboro's half of the field. Another opportunity here to get some numbers in front of the box. Evan's going to drive this one, and again, tough ball, plus 6 feet in the air. Normally you'd get a head on that, but you just can't do it. If you can jump, if you had a 40-inch vertical, you could get up high enough and put a chest on that, but that's not most soccer players. Ball knocked in the middle, and this is it, right? Just keep your shape. Just keep your shape. Force a mistake, and Attleboro looks like they might get it clear. Grady pressing hard. Still working it. That's great play right there. Aiden's going to turn, and he's picking his head up. He's looking for somebody. He's going to hit to the corner, and he is going to outrun the entire Attleboro defense and knock that ball across back in the middle, just short of Tommy coming in through the top of the box. Great play from Aiden. Absolutely fantastic run there. Took that space and just kept going. You're going to give it to me, I'll go, and then I'll turn and make a cross. Here comes Connor in for Matt Highland. Ethan knocking it hard on the ground. That ball is going to run out, which is fine. That's a good spot to put it back across the net. If you're during the run of play, I've always liked balls crossed from 25, 30 yards out rather than all the way back in the middle. And he tried to knock that over to Tommy and just kicked it off the heel of one of the Attleboro players. That ball cleaned up nicely by Evan. Attleboro player coming in hard. Nice movement there from Danny to check back for that and give Tommy some support. Here's Aiden again. And Elsner making a run. It's 1-on-3. Aiden just can't quite get purchase on that, and that's going to be a restart for Mansfield. So Mansfield absolutely pressuring now. 10 minutes left. Question is, can we get either build the play up or just get the ball, find a ball at our feet and put it in the back of the net? Another driven low ball. Aiden's going to turn and fire that. That's excellent play right there. Simple restart. Aiden coming across, gathers that, one touch and a turn, and he's got the horsepower to drive that ball from that position. So well done. There we go. Danny Rose steps in front. Aiden again on it, and that's going to be another Mansfield restart. So we are just pounding away here now on the Attleboro goal, at least the Attleboro box. Let's see if we can somehow manage to put one in. certainly test this keeper on frame. That's the key. There's the same play again. Let's see if Aiden can take on two. He's going to knock it back. That's a good read from the attleboro player. Aiden, though, just covering all kinds of territory. Scholes is going to tee this one up, and there it is across the box. Grady, tries that would have been brilliant, a flying volley, essentially. All kinds of new techniques having to be experimented with, given the fact that you just can't hit the ball. Let's see. Let's see what we got, what we're made of here. Can we dig deep? Tommy on it. Elsner running up. He's going to control and knock it back. Simple little ball. Tommy going for goal there. Pretty ambitious. But this stage of the game, you never know. Tommy volleying that back. And now Mansfield still, though, controlling it. Attleboro just can't seem to get any play on the ball, really. And that's going to be a foul and a restart for Mansfield. Okay, here we go. This has got to be the, 50th one of these. I'm not kidding, this game. Mansfield getting all sorts of restart and service right into the box. Let's see if anybody can get a hold of this one. Here it comes ahead. Ball on the ground. Grady on top of it, still bouncing. And there's a shot from Danny. Tough spinning ball, though. Hard to get good contact on that. Okay, 7 minutes and 20 seconds in this sixth game of the season, second game against Attleboro, coming off a 4-0 win. It is 0-0. Mansfield dominating now again in the fourth period. Didn't start out that way. Attleboro had some good opportunities, or at least it was even. And now Mansfield, last 8 or 9 minutes, have absolutely controlled the play. Here's Tommy going to let it fly. And he got clipped there. Hopefully he's going to be able to walk that one off. Looks like maybe he got stepped on, not sure. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be okay. And that's a deflection, so it's going to be a Mansfield corner. 6 minutes and 35 seconds. This is where somebody needs to stay at the top of the box. It can't all crash. Somebody's got to be there to pick up any kind of a rebound or something that comes out, which often is the case. And here's a service from Tommy. Knocks it back to the top. Connor's going to drive it across. That ball, sort of loose. Great coordination there from Michael. And looks like Mansfield's going to continue to keep it in their end. That ball is ahead now, and Evan is going to turn on that and just knock it out safely. But Attleboro takes the pressure off there for a minute, for a little bit. Lots of opportunities from Mansfield on these restarts into the box tonight. Just can't quite connect. Had a fair number of attempts from outside 25, 30 yards, but not a lot of them have been on frame. So that's a little chip ball, and that looked like potentially an outstretched arm from the Attleboro player on Ethan's back, but nope. And Matt Hyland coming in. Coach, give him some different people, some looks, and Hyland now up top. So Aiden's going to pressure this. He absolutely is. And let's see if, that's a simple little play from number 17 there. Just kind of zigzagging in front of Aiden, keeping him from being able to get up to full stride. Keeper going to gather this one. Good pressure, though, from Matt. Absolutely force the good hands. Inside 5 minutes now on the clock. Maybe a hair more on the field. And how are we doing for clock time? Matt trying to control. Danny making a run. Couldn't get anything out of that. Michael ahead now to Connor. Connor challenged. Now it's going to be 2-on-3. A third player coming through the middle with some pace, number 7. And it's just such a strange thing to see. That little bit of contact, and they're calling it, which that's the way it's got to be this year. So here we go. The last thing we want to have is a some kind of a tip ball or something in Attleboro. Jump out here, given the way Mansfield has dominated the second half for sure. That ball, Tommy does a great job of judging that. And Mansfield's going to get the restart. So Evan and Ethan coming up, and here we go. Nice little ball forward, plenty of space. Aiden may be able to run on, pressures that. Here comes Grady, and that's tough ball. That ball in the air, bouncing at chest or higher height, or head height or higher. Some space opening up now. Mansfield's got to be careful not to let Attleboro have too much space in the midfield. You don't want to have some crazy counter and lose it here in the last minute or two. On the other hand, what we do want to do is keep possession like we have. And put one in and win it late. So in comes Nate up top. So coach leaving Aiden in and switching out some names up top to partner with him. Let's see if we can make something happen. Here comes a very dangerous player. Joey, if they do not let him get the ball back in the box, that's a good feed. Left-footed drive. And thankfully spins a little bit off the instep there and up over the bar. So I'm a little surprised we haven't seen number 17 push through like that more frequently. He is an absolute dangerous striker as well as being solid in the back. So he just tried that. We've got 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes on the field, or on the clock rather. And we are still at 0-0. So this is it. Last couple 3. Leave it all on the field. There's no point in taking any saving energy at this point. Tommy's going to serve this up and hook it in, and that could be, just an opportunity for both. That looked like Danny and let's see. My eyes are not as good as they should be. Danny and Nate coming in and crashing the far post and just got through between them. Again, great service from Tommy. That hooking ball, too far for the goalie to come out for, but it swings around and dips down at the back post. Okay, we're inside now. 2 minutes time on the field. Attleboro's going to get this, and this is absolutely where you want to mark up, talk in the back. Attleboro not rushing this here, which is kind of odd, and here it comes. That ball is going to get to Jack, and let's see if Jack holds. He does not. He knocks it ahead, but that's going to come right back. No video and no audio. We're getting some comments from fans saying no video and no audio. So we're going to try something new here. Still recording and restarting the streaming here. Sorry, folks, if you're losing the last couple minutes. And that is it. So that appears to be it at 0-0. Refs calling it. Mansfield players coming out. And so we end up with our first tie of the season. Tough game. Good play. I think flow of the game, I would have said, 1 or even 2-0. Mansfield would have had a fair result, but not to be tonight. We are We are going to wrap things up here, stop the recording for a second, and we may or may not be. All right, we are recording here. We are live here with Captain Tommy Lanzillo. So, Tommy, not the result you wanted as a team, obviously, but give us a sense of the game and how things went.
Basically, we just had to come out stronger. We took them a little bit too lightly after we beat them 4-0 on Monday. We just had to want it more, I guess, and then towards the second half we started to wake up a little bit. So I don't know, it's just little things we got to improve. So I don't know. We'll be at practice tomorrow and then do better next time.
Yeah. So what do you think about being a captain on the team this year at different conditions? How is it? What are you doing for keeping the team up and having the positive results that you had overall? Right, 4-1-1. That's a good start.
Yeah. We're doing good. We just got to adjust to the rules and stuff. It's hard, not heading the ball and stuff, and having to go shoulder jumping into the ball. So just little things like that we just got to adjust to. So we're still trying to work out those kinks.
I'm interested in seeing the first chest goal I've ever seen in my life. I think
know, yeah,
maybe
me
that
too.
could happen this year. All right.
Yeah.
Thoughts about next week? Who we playing and what's coming up?
I think we're playing Franklin.
That is, yep.
They haven't had that great of a start, but we shouldn't take them lightly. So we gotta come out stronger.
All right. Cheers. Well done, gentlemen, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
All right.